Hey there, guys. Happy early holidays with a little dinosaur shirt on. I just want to make one final video about this whole Shenmue 4 thing. This isn't about anything really big, I guess. It's just about on a personal level. It's kind of a semi apology situation because I said some things in my previous video that I wasn't fully up to date on, that I felt that I was like, oh, I know what I'm talking about. And I was like, oh, maybe I don't know. So I think it's first and foremost mostly important for me to say and point out that I have not been in the loop with Shenmue news for months now to a year, for a very long time. And I haven't even been in Shenmue 3 yet. I'm actually playing through it now. Uh, I'm actually farther before. I first played it when it came out on Epic Games. Never finished it. Then I restarted it on Steam, and I'm not past the point that I was in the Epic Games version. I'm also using the Shenmue 3 Kiwami mod, I think it's called. I highly recommend it. It's really helpful for progression in that game. I know Shenmue 3 is supposed to be a grind fest. I know. Like that's fine. It's just it does help the game a lot if with that mod. But anyways, I digress. It's just my personal experience on the title. I'm enjoying it. Um, do I think it's the worst one in the series? I don't think that's a really fair thing to talk about because don't even know why I said that. Because it's like I would technically yes, but that's not really the creators' fault, and I know that it's not. I know Deep Silver is a big part of why that game turned out the way it did. I still love it. I don't care if it's the worst one in the series. I still love Shenmue 3. Um, and that's a really hard thing to even debate because there's only like 3 to 4 games. There's the What's Shenmue Dojo or What's Shenmue Demo. Wow, the What's Shenmue Playable Demo, the first 2 games, and then this one. That's really all we have. Like, there's Shenmue Online never got a release. Neither did Shenmue City, the mobile game. At least I don't think it did. That's really all we have. Like, just. So, anyways, I'm really happy that Adam was there to help clarify things because he is right. Like, in Games does not own YeastNet. Like, in the video, I did. What's what I'm looking for? Unintentionally, let out false information. I thought YeastNet was bought by a good home. Like that's what I thought, that like the franchise was going to be like, in good hands, and Shenmue 4 might have happened. No, of course, like yeah, they're only there to help them publish the third game enhanced or remastered, which is very understandable. Could they help publish Shenmue 4? Of course, but we don't know if they're going to. So, or like get physical copies of that game out. So Shenmue 4, I think it's very possible that Shenmue 4 is going to possibly be in a similar state and situation that Shenmue 3 was in when it first got announced. Now we don't know. We don't. This is just speculation, but like I'm just saying right now that this is hypothetical. This isn't factual. I'm not speaking on anything that's confirmed. Okay, I'm gonna make the disclaimer right now before I make another mistake about anything here. If Shenmue 4 is announced as another Kickstarter game, oh my goodness, I don't think it'd be as bad as I don't think the funding would be as much highly required as Shenmue 3's was, because I know the funding from Yu Suzuki's most recent titles like Air Twister. I think it's called Paw Fighter or something. It's like a Netflix game. Yeah, or Steel Paw. I don't know. I haven't played it. And Shenmue 3 and Shenmue 3 Enhanced coming out. I think he's obviously trying to make money, or YeastNet's trying to make money to make these games from their titles, not from you know what I mean, from us supporting what's currently coming out. So that makes sense, right? I feel like a scum because I haven't actually bought Air Twister yet, and I really wanted to. I've been dealing with personal issues for years about financial stuff, so I'm actually gonna probably buy the game today on Xbox after this video to play it. If it is on Xbox, I don't remember if it is, but I do want to play it though. So anyways, this whole recent Shenmue 4 thing really got me like back into like being into Yu Suzuki and shit. Well, I'm always into Yu Suzuki and Shenmue, always, but like this really got me back into it. And so I'm just like, yeah, like I really want more stuff too. I do. I would love it if the whole story just got revealed, like not leaked online illegally or anything like that. No, if Yu Suzuki made copies and published the Shenmue book story, which I think he will do it after the games are finished. Yes, Shenmue. He did create a book for Shenmue. There is a book. There is a story book that Yu Suzuki has created for the actual story that Yeah, it's he does what that shows and means. In case if you don't know, it has been confirmed. Yes, by actual like official Houston employees and stuff. This was a whole story about 6 months to a year back. I think it's been a while now, but I was like, oh yay when I first heard about that. What this shows and proves to me, and what it says to me, which I don't know if a lot of you out there feel this way or agree with this or whatever, but is that there's at least a contingency plan, like a fail safe proof kind of like thing that he has in case if he like passes away or he doesn't get a chance to finish the games or whatever. Now, if Yu Suzuki's type, I don't want to think about Yu Suzuki dying because I know he wants to finish these games. I know he does, and I think the man's in good health. But we don't know. You know what I mean? I hope he has like a protege. I hope he has somebody that's like that he trusts more than anyone or anything for this franchise to continue. Um, I so who knows, right? Like without him, I can trust what in a potential this is hypothetical, okay, very hypothetical. If that book does come out, right, and the games never get finished, I can trust the Shenmue games being finished along the hands of like the Kitchen Brothers doing something for Shenmue, or like like someone like the fans basically doing it, right, or maybe Usenet can do it without him, but like it just would be designed kind of differently. Maybe even RGG Studios could swoop in and maybe help, but this is all unknown stuff, right? I wanted like RGG to work with Yeastnet, be like, why can't they just combine and like finish the series? Like, what the hell? I know they have their own projects. Plus, there's some weird stuff going on right now with RGG Studios, like delisting Yakuza 0 and everything. It was like, what the, like, yeah, they're doing some very frustrating things right now. As a fan of both these franchises, Yakuza and Shenmue, it is very frustrating right now what's going on with Yakuza currently. But yeah. But that's something for later. And another humongous multi-million-dollar franchise that I kind of want to talk about or bring up another franchise that I've been a fan of forever since before I even discovered Shenmue would have to be this loving franchise right here, Dragon Ball. So a big part of why I'm bringing up Dragon Ball and why it's somewhat relevant to this is because, again, hypothetical if Yuzuki passed away, Akira Toriyama, the father of Dragon Ball, the mangaka himself, the creator of the series, passed away a couple years back, right? And he entrusted it to his protege Toyotaru. So now he is the sole headmaster of Dragon Ball currently, at least the manga side of things. He is. So he kind of gets the final say, I think, for anything Dragon Ball now. I think that's what that means. So that's what I'm trying to say. If Yu Suzuki isn't around to help Shenmue, is there somebody in his place that could be there to help the series? And the bigger question is, should there be someone else? Should Shenmue, at least as a gaming series, as an official licensed gaming franchise? Because I'm not saying there can't be more Shenmue games. I know fans, if we had the book, if it was revealed, fans would make their own version of that, and that would be allowed by anyone if as long as there's no strict hey, you can't make that. I don't think Sega would do it. I don't think Eastnet would put a hammer down. That's what I'm trying to talk about. That's what I'm trying to say. The question is that without Yu Suzuki in the picture, hypothetically speaking, should Shenmue continue as an official licensed gaming series? That's hard to say right now. Why not hire people like the Kitchen Brothers to come in to help finish the games? That could happen too. We really don't know right now, right? This is just hypothetical. So anyways, I appreciate Adam clarifying things. I didn't fully know what was going on with the whole Warner Brothers Netflix merger thing being relevant for Shenmue. Not that I still don't fully have hope that it will happen, but it could, right? I want a season 2 of the anime as well. I want to touch on the Shenmue anime. I finished it this past summer, actually, back in August of this year. That's a part of how I got back into Suzuki stuff. When I was working on my Outrun review. Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, it's a fun video. Anyways, yeah. So I liked it and everything. It's just a shame how they mushed everything together, Shenmue 1 and 2, into 13 episodes only, and I was like, oh my god. And like I said, they cut out a lot of stuff. I think they cut out Rio Single by the Tom. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did it in a way that was very different, I think, than the game. But I feel like at times the pacing was just way too fast. I'm pretty sure it was a licensing thing, but they only used primarily the main theme of the game, which was like, what about like to Earth and Sea and like those iconic songs? Like what the heck? And like the Nightfall tune, like I mean, they couldn't have used any of those. Like man, I do like the main theme though. The Noid, I think it's called, or something. I don't know, but like the actual main theme is cool. I do like the voice actors. I only watch it in English. I haven't watched in Japanese yet. I do like the portrayal of the characters. There's a lot about the anime that I do like. There is. I just wasn't a fan of the way they like portrayed it, like the narrative, like the way how they just like kind of got through everything, all the beats, all the story beats permanently quickly. And I was like, I know, I get it, like it's not the game, but like come on, like I don't know. I felt like this anime was both made by people who care about Shenmue and are fans of it, and people who were just like, let's go, come on, we gotta get through it, who didn't care at the same time. It's complicated. I guess the only other thing I can really feel and compare it to, possibly, is that Netflix live action Avatar show. Very similar kind of situation, right? Where it's like they're just getting through it. I haven't watched much of it, but I do know the people who worked in the show are fans. But I think Netflix were the ones that were like, you know what I mean? Thank God Ichiro Oda stepped in for that One Piece Netflix show, and he was like, I'm gonna tell the story how it needs to be told. Like, thank God for that. So, because the One Piece show is good, it's live action, it's fantastic. Except for season 2. But yeah, no. Anyways, I'm getting all over the place in this video. I'm sorry. But yeah, no. I do want more Shenmue stuff. Of course I do. Yeah, it's my favorite thing. It's like my favorite gaming series of all time, next to Mother and Earthbound, the Panzer Dragoon games, and now Shenmue. And one common thing that the Earthbound or Mother, Panzer Dragoon, and Shenmue games have in common is that there's no real foreseeable future for these franchises. They don't really have like any, like any assurance, right, that we're gonna get more games, which is understandable. But Panzer Dragoon is already kind of a finished thing, anyways. Really, people, there should be a remaster of the other 3 games, and it should be like really like public and marketed well, and be like, hey, this is like a big thing. You should buy this game, because Panzer Dragoon Saga is as great as something like Final Fantasy VII. It's just like, why it's just like locked away, like on old hardware. I know why it is, but I think you get what I mean. And then there's also like, the Mother games. Like really, the only thing I want from Panzer Dragoon and Mother are just game remakes. You know what I mean? And that's not even necessary. Like play the originals if you can, emulate them, buy the extra hardware like I did, and maybe buy reproductions or burn the discs yourself, and then experience it however you want to. They're so freaking worth it. They are. But then there's something like Shenmue. Shenmue, man. Shenmue. Do I want the first 2 games remade? Well, that's hard to say. I really do like the Shenmue 1 and 2 remaster, but again, man, the lack of Yu Suzuki, completely removing the freaking passport section in Shenmue 1 was so shitty. Like, what? I can understand, like not utilizing the online functions. Actually, I can't, because it was really cool. Thank God for this. There is the Suka Pass app. If you haven't heard of it, I actually have it here on my phone. The Suka Pass app. This was basically the alternative to the passport in Shenmue 1 and 2, the remaster. This was, this is fan made though. This isn't actually made by Sega. Yeah, so it's like, dude, like, come on, But anyways, yes, of course I want Shenmue stuff, and of course I want Shenmue to do well. And I want an actual, honest to God, remake of the entire game. Like the entire story is like one giant video game, and it's not like a collection. It's not like a Sonic like collection thing, or it's not like a game collection release. No, it's like you start the game from the beginning and you play to the very end, because that's what it's supposed to be, one giant video game. It's not like, oh, pick which one, where do you want to start? Shenmue 1, Shenmue 2, Shenmue 3, Shenmue 4, Shenmue 5. If there ever is a Shenmue 5. No. We all know that's not how it should be made. We know it should be made like from the beginning to the end, because that's how the game should be experienced. That's how the story should be experienced, with everything that was there, right? And Yu Suzuki's original 70 gigabyte idea he had. What was it again? I forgot how big the game was originally when he coined it. I forgot what he said when he proposed or talked about it. Man, it's just so tragic to see Shenmue being this giant thing, to becoming from way back in late 90s, early 2000s, to being this small, humble IP that's with Yu Suzuki being like, can I please have this? Can I please have that to make my game? Fuck, that's just so frustrating to see and recognize. It's I feel for him. I'm a creator. I'm an artist, and a lot of my projects never really came through. So some of them are very personal and like I don't really make them public. Mostly I'm creating this book, right? I'm creating this like big like book franchise for me. So I get it. I get it. Like it must be heartbreaking to. It is. It's like he was such an iconic phenomenon, during that time. And like I get that making Shenmue was both very foolish but also very beautiful and like ambitious and this wonderful thing. And Sega, I think a big part of why Sega approved it was because Sega was like, we're kind of dead in the water at this point. We're probably not going to survive another few years with what we're doing. We might as well greenlight the Shenmue thing for Yu Suzuki, give him like all this money and let him make this game. And nowadays, with all the security they've had with being a third-party company, it makes sense for them to be like, never again. But it's like the budget that Shenmue 4 moving forward would have from Sega now is like nothing compared to how it was then. I don't think it would cost as something as big as Cyberpunk, but maybe Yu Suzuki wants it to be like that. That's what I'm saying. He wants it to be as something as big as that, and in my personal opinion, I think it should be. But Shenmue 3 being the indie game that it is, really feels like, yeah, this kind of suffers compared to Shenmue 1 and 2. And I'm not putting that against the game. I'm not putting that against the principle behind its creation. I'm not putting that against Yeast. I'm not putting that against anyone involved with the project, not even fully Deep Silver. I'm just saying that it's a very like noticeable eye-opening thing comparing going straight from Shenmue 2 straight to 3. It's like, what the fuck happened? Like, you can immediately feel it and like notice it. Yeah, we know what happened. We know the story in case if you've been there, if you've been following Shenmue 3. I mean, I followed the game for ever since it was like announced for years. What I'm trying to say is that it's a very noticeable thing and it's sad. And yeah, like, people mentioned, which I really wanted a version of Shenmue 3 that was on the Dreamcast, because it's like, well, wait a minute, like, Dreamcast games are being made by indie developers nowadays. Yeast's technically an indie developer. What's going on here? Why is Shenmue 3 not having a Dreamcast release? And I always believed it was because, it's a modern, it's coming back into modern gaming. It makes sense to release it on modern platforms with modern graphics, with a modern engine. Okay, that makes sense. But really, that the reality of it is that Sega owns the assets of Shenmue 1 and 2. They own the IP of Shenmue 1 and 2. But also, at the same time, remember, Sega was also very giving and forgiving and kind to Yu Suzuki to let him make Shenmue 3. So they also gave Yu Suzuki the licensing to his own IP. So it's like, I'm kind of confused here. Plus, you see Shenmue 1 and 2 gameplay footage in Shenmue 3. There's like the flashback scene. So it's like, wait a minute. And then, yeah, like you see the character models and whatnot in Shenmue 3. You see some old Dreamcast stuff in Shenmue 3. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure they both own Shenmue, like fully, like rightfully. I remember Adam Crown like actually even touching on that. So it's like, maybe Shenmue 3 could have had a Sega Dreamcast version. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I have no idea. I would love it if a fan could compress the audio down from Shenmue 3 and just like make the Dreamcast version. But I from like the from the actual version we have, that'd be really funny. But no, there's just no way. Yeah, guys, that's all I had to say about it. Again, Adam, man, thank you for coming in and clarifying things. Sorry for saying things I wasn't fully up to date on. And I also should apologize to Matt from Shenmue Dojo. I was a little harsh on him about the whole Netflix Warner Bros. Merger thing. Yeah, I know. He's not being foolish. He's just trying to have hope. And at the end of the day, that's what it's like for all Shenmue fans. We're all just trying to be hopeful. Like, I really believed that most people that love Shenmue were against having Shenmue 4. I believed most people were like burned out and were like, I'm over this fucking series after Shenmue 3. But after this past week, since what happened with this whole Shenmue 4 thing, I was so happy and surprised to see how wrong I was. Because, I'm on Facebook groups like Shenmue 500K, Shenmue something else. I know, like Shenmue groups, right? And I see people opinionate this kind of stuff and express how they feel all the time, being like, this franchise should just be dead at this point. Like, fuck Shenmue, fuck the future Shenmue. I see stuff like that. I've seen stuff and it really made me feel disheartened. I'm like, wait, no, I still want Shenmue 4. I'm like, where are the people like me? Like, what the fuck? Like, it really broke my heart. It did. And I know Adam, Matt, and James, and other Shenmue fans feel for me on that. I know there are people out there that still want the series to thrive. And again, when I saw Matt saying what he said about one of the heads of Warner Brothers Studios or whatever canceling Shenmue the anime. I was like, what? Why? Like, why do people do shit like that? Like, that made me think of Peter Moore. Like, you know what I mean with what happened back then with Shenmue 2 and Xbox and everything. I'm like, what is wrong with these people? Like, I don't know, man. The only person I can really trust, the only people I can really trust when it comes to Shenmue is Yu Suzuki, the entire team at Usenet. I don't know all their names, and the dedicated fan base. Those are the only people that we can trust when it comes to Shenmue. And I'm so happy that we have people like the Kinship brothers to make us laugh. Because Shenmue, there should be some comedy coming from Shenmue. There should be some genuine parody from Shenmue, right? And I feel like that Dreams of Saturn game is a love letter, a parody, and a prequel, and like a Shenmue mania thing. I'm like, this is a fucking, what is this? Like, oh my, I cannot wait to play this. Like, it looks incredible. I cannot wait for Dreams of Saturn 3.0. It's only a few days away now. It says coming. Oh, it's next week. It's next week. It's next week from when I'm recording this. I'm probably gonna upload this today, and so I'm excited. When I thought it was out already when I made that video, so I'm like, I'm gonna play and make a video about it. Well, I will on that Friday. I believe I work that day, but I don't care. I'm gonna go home and download it or play it before I go to work and just enjoy the fuck out of it. I can, or when I get home from it. Just I don't know what time it's gonna release on Friday, but whenever it comes out, I'm downloading it, playing it, doing a video on it, maybe a live stream kind of with OBS here. I might. So I'm excited. I like first impressions. Yeah. I'm very excited for that game. I wish it was Shenmue 4, but after what I saw, I was like, yo, this is amazing. Like I want to play more. I love their work. I do. And they're working on the side game of characters from Shenmue 2 that I'm excited to see as well. So I forgot what it was called, but yeah, I cannot wait for their work. I wish you could play it on the Dreamcast. Maybe they might work on a Dreamcast version, but after seeing all the work that went into it, I seriously doubt the game can be compressed down for Dreamcast, like in terms of size. And I don't, just because they're using Dreamcast assets doesn't mean it's like, you know what I mean? The game is made for it to be downloaded on PC, and you can probably play it on something like Xbox or PlayStation, but like, or PlayStation 5, I should say, or modern Xbox platforms. But like, I don't know. I don't know if it can be playable on Dreamcast. That's not for me to say. I'm not the one who made the game, so I don't know. But I really hope a Dreamcast version gets made. I really, really, really hope so, because that'd be awesome. That'd be so much fun. All right, guys, this has been me, Daniel, rambling around about Shenmue. Adam, if you're out there watching this, thank you again for your help. And like I said in my other videos, people, listen to Adam Kralik and listen to James and Matt from the Shenmue Dojo. They do know what they're talking about. Sometimes they do get things wrong, but that's not intentional. And I do know the times when they do get things supposedly wrong, it's because it's 99% of the time it's based off things that are just like speculation or theories or just ideas. Like, it's nothing concrete proof yet, right? Like, Adam has said things that he's expressed that he wanted to for the Shenmue franchise that people took into fact. I'm just like, he never said like that was true. Like, what the Adam, I've been with you since the beginning, man. And well, not the beginning, since 2013 at least. And watching you on your personal journey with YouTube and everything has been beautiful. It has been. And I just want to say that, like, for the fact that you got to meet Yu Suzuki, that made me smile so much. I was like, that was so fucking cool, man. Like, oh my god. Like, I was really jealous, but at the same time I was happy for you. I was. Of course I am, because like, I know that meant everything to you. It must have meant a lot to you. I'm sure it did. So that was sweet. And you and Johnny Millennium, the Happy Console Gamer, are two of my favorite content creators. I've been watching you guys for years, and I just wanted to say, like, having you on my platform, or having you see my videos, it's kind of like, oh, but it's kind of like, oh my goodness, and it just feels awesome, So, anyways, thanks again for watching, guys. Have a good one, take care, everybody. I hope you all have a happy holiday. This, besides the Dreams of Saturn video, if it actually comes out the 19th, might be my last video of the year. I am still kind of working on the Everything Xbox video. Oh, no, what's it called again? Going through something play Xbox, that video. I'm feeling very mixed about whether I should finish it or not. I put a lot of work into it so far, so I really should finish it. I'm not going to cancel it, guys. Don't worry. I'm just giving myself time to work on it. All right, guys. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye. Until next time.